this is Jersey. You're watching The Garden State.
You are listening to The Garden State, the only New Jersey podcast that gives you all the news you need to hear this week. My name is Josh Sobo.
My name is Joshua Chomik.
And back once more, the man himself,
James Parker Jr.
New name every week.
Well, he's a man of many identities, really, and we respect that about James Parker.
Jimmy Parks.
Jr.
Hey,
Hey.
I appreciate the respect.
Hay's for horses, Jim.
How you guys doing this week?
Doing well, man. The weather's been immaculate.
Immaculate. It was like 99 degrees and humid.
It was beautiful. It was just gorgeous outside. Like, you sweat a little bit, but like it reminded me of summer.
Oh yeah, it felt like the middle of August.
It was awesome. And today's like 70 degrees, nice and cool. You could be in a t-shirt and not like be freezing. It's awesome.
Today's immaculate.
That's what I was talking about.
I don't mind the heat if I'm near like a pool, but otherwise I really can't stand it. But it was a hot weekend for sure, and the hottest part of the weekend might have been the plans that we all had, right? Like, Jimmy, you want to let us know what you did this weekend?
Yeah, for sure. I went to a graduation party on Saturday.
Whoa.
And played a little bit of tennis on Sunday. It was a good weekend.
Nice. See, Jimmy plays tennis every weekend. I play golf every weekend. We've got our little things that we like to do.
I don't play any sports on the weekends. I go to the gym, but I'm not.
See, you go to the gym. Me and Jimmy don't work out, so like that's your thing.
That's a good point.
Like I guess my gym is the golf course. Seriously, you do a lot of walking. It's healthy for you, like moving my body all over the place.
Well, actually, so I went to the driving range last week, and you let me borrow your clubs.
Yeah, we have to talk about that because my 5-iron's kind of busted. I just don't know how that happened. So
It wasn't me. I didn't use it. But I was kind of surprised, like, afterwards, like, my back kind of hurt. I was like, oh, working some muscles I don't normally use.
Bro, yeah, you work out every single muscle on the golf course, and it's enjoyable. You get used to it, though, like any workout. But I could see you on the golf course, Jim. You should start golfing.
I think I might.
Josh, what did you do this weekend? Saturday. What was your Saturday?
Was that the day? Yeah, Saturday we went to Aaron's pool. That was cool. Crashed my cousin's house. He had like a heated pool, which is nice. It wasn't too heated, but it wasn't like an ice bath. It was like a good like 80 degrees, so it was refreshing to jump into. So that was cool. Mm-hmm. I played golf Saturday morning, Scotch Hills. Great round right before the heat really just cooked me up. So that was cool.
Well, it sounds like an eventful weekend.
Yeah, it was good. It gets me excited for summer, man. It was a good little treat leading up into almost June, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's really crazy to consider that we're burning through this year. We're walking into Memorial Day weekend. This pod is going to go up on the Friday before Memorial Day weekend. Can I be real with you guys? Memorial Day weekend, for whatever reason, is my favorite weekend of the year, I think.
Is it because my birthday weekend?
Probably not.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say it's because it's your birthday weekend. No, it's like top 3 for me because it's officially the launch of summer. I think I always, like, midway through summer, I'm like, I wish it was Memorial Day again. Because, like, summer goes fast once you're in it.
Yeah.
And then 4th of July's over, and you're like, and things start getting real after that.
You know what I always thought was crazy growing up? It's like after 4th of July hit, you're like, oh, it's basically September. But, like, 4th of July is still so early on.
No, but it just flies like that. And then it's the end of August. You're like, oh, man, I let's do it again.
Guys, cherish where we're at. Listeners, this is the time to, like, take it all in. Summer's about to kick in. I helped my father-in-law open the pool last weekend. That was fun.
Nice.
That was what that's what I actually did this weekend is I went over there and we opened up the pool. And it was Saturday morning. It was, like, warm at 9 a.m.
It was
like 85
so
degrees.
beautiful.
And so we were doing that, and it just got me really excited for the summer festivities.
You know what? Labor Day is like Labor Day weekend. It's sad because it's like the end of summer. But now that we're adults and we work throughout the summer, we don't have summer vacay like when we were kids. Mm-hmm. There's something special about that weekend too. I don't know why. I just always end up doing something fun on Labor Day weekend.
Well, the only time of year I don't like in New Jersey anymore, I've learned to appreciate the whole year. You know, like last October, I had so much fun in October. Like living where I live, we're not going to disclose my housing location, but walking around town, the fall decorations, the coffee. You just take it all in. We go camping every October.
It's because we're so sick of the heat by like August and September. We're like, okay, give us fall weather.
The only time of year I don't like is really January until the first week of March. When Christmas ends, that's the dark season.
It is a little sad, yeah.
And you're like, what do we do now? We have no identity as a state. It's January, February, Valentine's Day, I guess, is in there. But then March rolls around and you're like, all right, my birthday's in March. Usually around then, my birthday, you get like one warm day where it's like 60 degrees and you're like, okay, I have a little bit of hope for the future.
And we were doing the podcast this year, so that kind of brightened it up too. Like we've been doing this since December, which is crazy.
Yep. So.
And also snowstorms. Like, come on. A nice pow day in there in January through March. A few little pow days.
You know what's an interesting Jersey thing is parades. I know parades are everywhere, but like a Memorial Day parade. I had some friends that moved to North Carolina and they were like, yeah, nobody does parades down here. It's not like a thing, like a Memorial Day parade. Growing up in the town you guys, I almost said it, growing up in the town you guys grew up in, did they have a Memorial Day parade?
Yeah, of course.
That's the best.
Yeah, everyone goes out to the main street.
Yeah,
my parents never brought me as a kid.
What? You never went out there? You live so close.
Yeah, like we used to we saw. I think I've been there a few times, but it wasn't like a thing where we were like, oh, parade.
We'd bring out our lawn chairs and you'd wave at all the trucks as they go by.
Yeah, we go every year. I still go every year with my parents to the parade. I said this year, I was like, I'll bring the bagels. I'll meet you guys, same spot. They've been going since the 80s because they've lived in the same town for so
cool.
long.
Believe it or not, I marched in our town parade multiple times.
So did I. With the rec league baseball team, I carried the American flag in the Memorial Day parade as a young American.
You guys really lived it up.
And what's the best part of all that is afterwards you go home, turn on the local TV channel, and you could rewatch yourself walking in the parade.
I wish I knew about this.
Local TV is such a weird thing.
Do they still have the local TV channel?
Oh yeah.
Like who's running that?
Somebody who we had for high school film.
Oh, that teacher?
Yeah.
Wow, he runs it?
He does.
Does he get paid to do that?
That's a great question. I'm really not sure.
Like, what if we took over the local TV network? We could do so much better.
Oh, the graphics on it haven't changed my whole entire life.
That's what blows my mind. Like, who actually tunes into that?
I've watched it.
The elderly. I think the elderly love it, but
we should hit him up, dude. Be like, yo, let us get a What if Garden State got a segment on the local TV channel?
How many?
We just put our podcast on there.
This is in Union County.
Yeah.
So how many people, how many towns can watch it? Just one town?
No, because I also get a few of the surrounding towns' local channels. I think I get like 3 of the surrounding towns.
Oh, right. Guys, I feel like it's so easy for us to get our way into this network.
Well, let's look into it. We'll see if we could do some research and get on, the local network. Have an amazing, high production value show that nobody watches.
It wouldn't do us any good. It wouldn't grow this show at all, but it would satisfy us. We'd be so happy we did it.
Every time you went to shop right then, all the little old ladies in town were like, I saw you on the TV.
Well, speaking of older women, I was at Acme.
Hey, here we go.
You guys said old ladies.
I'm ready for this one.
No, really quickly, before we start, I was at Acme the other day getting some groceries, and I'm about to check out, and the girl ringing me up, she's probably my age, young, but then all of a sudden, to my right, someone taps my shoulder. It's this older woman, and then
How old are we talking?
She must be I would say mid-70s.
Okay.
And she taps my shoulder, and I thought I dropped something, and I look at her, and she's like, you have the most beautiful eyes.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. And I looked at her, and I was like, thank you. And she walked away, and she started talking to herself for another lady. She's like, oh, those eyes are beautiful.
Holy smokes,
And then
Josh.
the cashier was like, does that happen to you often? I was like, no. She's like, that's so random.
Well, how do you feel about it in hindsight?
It made my day.
Wow, well that's awesome. There's something very endearing about being complimented by an older lady, but there's also something very creepy about it. And you're like, you kind of remind me of my grandma.
Yeah.
Speaking of grandmas, Josh, you have every time I see your babas, which is was that Ukrainian?
I don't know. We just always called them baba
For grandma. They're the best.
My grandmas are amazing, and my one grandma Olga, she listens to the podcast. So,
really?
I had to teach her how to use the podcast app on her iPhone.
Do you want to say hi to Baba Olga?
Baba Olga, I love you. I hope you're listening to this right now. She's the one requesting for us to post this on YouTube. So she's like, I want to watch you guys. I don't want to listen. I was like, everyone else wants us to do that too. It's coming.
Wow. Well, that's great. Shout out to Baba Olga.
She knows how to use the iPhone better than I do. It's crazy.
You guys want to get into the news?
Let's do it.
There's some stuff happened this weekend, specifically this weekend in New Jersey. Oh, before we get into the news, a few quick thoughts. Just maybe corrections on a previous story. Not really a correction, but last week we talked about the tragic death of the 18-year-old down the shore who the hull of sand collapsed in on him and his sister, and he died. I read a comment, and I couldn't back it up with like an actual news source, but one comment said they recently placed sand there. They were like relocated sand to fill the beach, and he dug a 4 to 5 foot hole, but it collapsed like a sinkhole underneath him because it wasn't compacted in.
Unreal.
So the one thing about that story that didn't make sense was how do you dig a 10-foot hole at the beach? Like that's really impossible to do, even with a shovel, but they did it with Frisbees.
Yeah, that's why like we didn't really think it made sense. But now that like say he did dig 5 feet, which is totally doable, and something just like a sinkhole pops up and you just fall in 5 more feet, it's crazy. That makes sense to think about. So it didn't hit us at first, but it was just such an awful story, man. So sad.
So, yeah, I just want to bring that little bit of a correction in. And the other thing I wanted to say was, have either of you listened to the this podcast called I think it's the Dead End podcast?
I have not.
Never heard of it.
Okay, so when I was on my road trip, I forgot to mention this to you guys, and our listeners might actually like this too. I believe it's produced by NPR. I'm not completely sure. But there was this couple named John and Joy Sheridan who were murdered. Well, they believe they were murdered, and this is about a decade ago in New Jersey. And they've made this murder mystery podcast, and it is absolutely crazy. And basically, the reason it's interesting is because John Sheridan was a very, very politically connected guy. He worked in New Jersey government for many years. He's actually credited for NJ Transit. Before NJ Transit, it was all kind of like, what do you call them? Like freight lines. Like they were moving freight cars, and he actually helped make the legislation to make NJ Transit a thing. So he's a big deal within the state. He was friends with the multiple governors. In the podcast, they talk about like Republicans, Democrats, everybody kind of liked him. And I don't know. I listened to this podcast on my road trip. I don't even know how Shelb found it, but we were listening, and it was really interesting. Very, very interesting. And I was going to say to you guys, you should listen this week to it so we could talk about it next week.
How many episodes?
So there's only 5 episodes out so far. It's like currently being made.
Oh, so they're posting like weekly?
Yeah, and they're like 30 minutes long. And it's interesting because up until the episode I got to, there's some implication of some shady business going on within New Jersey government. Now, can they verify it? I don't know. We'll see what happens in the future episodes, but it's kind of implied that, like, I don't know if it's mob stuff or, it's very, very interesting. It's not like he just got murdered by like a stranger, like really
interesting
Jersey style situation. So I just wanted to shout that out before we,
wait, where are they from, the couple?
They lived down by Jimmy, where's Tiger Tail? Like the bar and grill. Have you heard of I think it's called Tiger Tails or something like that.
I'm not sure.
The Tiger Skillman.
I don't know where Skillman is.
Skillman's down near Princeton, I believe. Let me double check.
I learn a new town name every podcast.
The only reason I know, it's right next to Princeton. Skillman. So the only reason I know the Tiger's Tail is this guy I used to work with would always say like, oh, you got to go to the Tiger's Tail. I guess that's some sort of like a restaurant. I don't know. But in the podcast, they said they lived 5 minutes from the Tiger's Tail.
Oh.
So it's Rocky Hill / Skillman area of New Jersey, Montgomery, that whole area. You know Montgomery, Rachel?
Yep.
So yeah, I just want to shout it out. You guys should listen to it this week. Really, really intriguing story. And like, it got pretty dicey at the end of the last episode I listened to. So
if you're listening to this right now and like you actually listen to the Dead End podcast and you're just like freaking out right now and wanting to talk to Josh all about it, shoot us a DM on Instagram. It's probably the best way to get in touch with us. And you guys could chat it up in there. I'll listen to it this week. I'll check it out.
Absolutely. And the thing I'd say is listen, political corruption. Jimmy and I were just talking about this earlier. Like, local government, that's where like stuff goes down. I mean, we don't hear about the federal stuff as much. I think it's hidden under wraps, but you start to hear what goes on local government. It's like the old saying about sausage. How does it go? Like, everybody wants to eat sausage, but nobody wants to see how it's made or whatever.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see how you make the sausage or whatever. But like, this podcast was pretty eye-opening so far. or ear opening, I should say, I guess, right? But
That's
yeah.
what's crazy about the government, dude. Like they'll always cover everything up. I feel like our whole lives we've been hearing about conspiracy theories and all these crazy things happening, but nothing ever gets revealed.
Well, the crazy thing is this. I don't want to give too much away. I want you guys to listen to it. But the township where they were murdered within, apparently, like they came to do an investigation of the crime scene and absolutely botched it, and like to the point where it was like really, really bad. And the son of the guy that was murdered works also within the state. He was a very, very big lawyer. I think for the Republican Party, he did some crazy litigation. And so he was the guy that when the murder happened, he was telling his siblings, like, no, this isn't a conspiracy. Like, it looked like they thought his dad murdered the mom, but the way it all went down. But then as it goes along, you start to hear it unfold, and it's like, yo, some stuff is shady within the state. And I don't know what happened, but we'll talk about it next week after we listen to it, okay? So I want you guys to listen. That's your homework for the Garden State this week, guys. Listen to the pod.
What was that one? Well, I just saw New Jersey News is starting like a murder mystery podcast.
Yeah.
Which one are they? Which story are they trying to cover?
They're talking about John List
yes,
in
the John
Westfield.
List. Yeah,
way.
I saw that, and I was like, wait, we just talked about that.
NJ.com, man.
I gotta listen to that. I'm actually curious.
Yeah, me too.
This is becoming
Our brothers and sisters over at NewJersey.com.
You know, they could just give us a line, call us up and say, hey guys, we want to buy the podcast. But no, they don't want to reach out. And we would sell. We would absolutely sell for $250,000 minimum.
We also are looking for some angel investors. So if you have some money and you're listening, we could use it to make this place a better place.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're just saying a lot right now. But yeah, so listen to the Dead End pod. I think it's Dead End. Let me confirm before I give fake news. Dead End, a New Jersey. It's Dead End, a New Jersey political murder mystery.
Nice.
Very interesting. I think produced by NPR and WNYC Studios. All right, so let's get into the news this week. All right?
Let's do it, boys.
In Long Branch, New Jersey, a party got a little out of hand when 5,000 visitors showed up.
It's a little weekend riot down in Long Branch.
Just a casual riot.
Nothing crazy. It happens every single year in Long Branch. They're used to it.
That's part of my beach plans. I pack the cooler, I get the Tommy Bahama chairs out, and then I go to the riot. That's like just a casual Saturday for me in Jersey.
Dude, I haven't been to Long Branch in a minute because every time I go there, first of all, I can never find parking. It's a mess. And it's just become so wild. Like, I go to Monmouth Beach. It's a free beach. I go there.
Whoa. Shh. Keep that to yourself,
keep that
buddy.
BL,
Keep
bro.
that
You
to
don't want to give
yourself.
that away on the pod.
You're right. I didn't say a street name, guys. It's not like I'm talking about a small area. I said a whole town. Chill out. Yeah, crazy story.
What is that area called? Is it the Village?
Pier Village.
Yeah, Pier Village.
Pier Village, man. I've been down there. We've all been there. If you live in North Central Jersey, you've been there once or twice. You can never find parking.
It's a
and I
mess.
just don't like the beach there. I don't know what the appeal is. Maybe it's like the social environment of all of it. But let me read you guys this article. It says, police arrested more than a dozen people Saturday evening after nearly 5,000 revelers. What does revelers mean, boys?
Like, you come to revel,
Yeah.
Like I'm reveling with the boys.
After nearly 5,000 revelers descended on the oceanfront city, prompting a massive police response and an overnight curfew. The chaos is a repeat of what happened here last summer. It will result in city officials developing a plan to address pop-up parties that overwhelm local services. It says City Public Safety Director Domingos Saldita said the goal would be to issue a plan that other shore communities could also implement. So it sounds like this. So we all remember this happened last year.
Yeah.
Right? And if you were on TikTok and you're from Jersey, you saw the videos of what happened this weekend. It got crazy.
Like, how does that even happen? Like, why can't these kids just go on the beach and just have a good old time? Like, why is it? There was I saw videos of fights, just lots of crazy stuff happening.
How many people got arrested? Like 15?
Yeah.
I think it said 12 people. Oh, it says more than a dozen. So yeah, like 15 people got arrested. The article was actually interesting because they kind of downplay it, like, oh, it wasn't that bad. Then they say they like crushed a car. So let me actually pull that up for you guys.
yeah, I don't know.
That's no easy feat.
Yeah, it says.
Well, with 5,000 people, that's not that hard of a job.
I'm pulling it up right now. Talk amongst yourselves while I
Well, it's pretty funny because my mom loves Pier Village. She always sits like near the palm trees,
just
like
gonna
on the
say the
left.
palm trees.
Like I could just picture my mom being there like this past weekend, just trying to enjoy her Saturday, and then like this massive group of people just starts partying and going crazy.
But
My mom
also-
would be so scared.
I feel like Pure Village has changed so much in the last 10 years. Like it's really gotten built up. Like it's not what it used to be.
Has it like yeah? I used to. I was never a big Pier Village guy. Like even growing up, we used to always go to different beaches throughout Jersey. So I'm not too sure.
Hold on, let me read you guys this entire like 3 paragraphs. Really interesting. Officials said those arrested faced misdemeanor charges stemming from fighting as well as vandalizing a police vehicle. The suspects were, in quotes, all out-of-towners, many of them from Essex County, Saldita said. Prosecutor said Sunday morning that Department of Corrections officers deployed disorientation devices, specifically a single flashbang, as well as a smoke grenade. In limited situations in response to fights taking place and bottles and rocks being thrown where the crowd would not disperse. No injuries other than from people engaged in fighting have been reported. Saldita said there were no reports of property damage except for a radio car that was stomped. What's a radio car? That's like a squad car, I guess?
I don't know.
It was stomped, though, he said, and they've made one arrest in connection to vandalism of the car. I don't know. This stuff drives me nuts because here's the divide. It's like the young people on TikTok are going to be mad at us for calling this out, but it's so dumb. This is dumb.
Well, I just want to say, word really did spread. Like I even got a text message
Really?
with the poster,
From
whatever
who?
it was called. I'm not going to drop names, but
Did
like
this person
it was in
go?
our group chat, dude.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, I think but
Wait, did this person go? Who sent it to you?
No.
they wanted to, but they didn't.
No,
thing
he
they
was
didn't.
kind of making fun of it. He was
Yeah, he
kinda
might
like,
have been making
this
fun
is
of
trash.
it.
I'm not
but,
going.
But the fact that it spread, like even I got it, like that's so wild. Like think about how many people this poster went out to. I forgot what it was called. I have to bring it up. It was what did the poster say
the
on it?
poster that was going around was really cheesy looking. Like it looked
yeah,
almost
there
like
it
a
is,
meme.
yeah. Beach Link Up.
Beach Link Up 2022.
Let's link up.
At the end of the original poster, it said like there was a special surprise at the end. I think I saw that.
Time 12 p.m. till until.
Bro, it says music and then like a music emoji. Like the way it's written is like such a meme, like a dank
Wait,
meme
it
post.
says YouTubers?
It says eats with a cheeseburger, fun with like the dancing guy, YouTubers, and then good vibes
What
with Z at the
YouTubers
end.
were there?
Yo, this is crazy.
That should have been our man on the street video that
We
we wanted to
should have
do. We
showed
should have
up.
showed up. It
Oh,
would have been
man.
a madhouse, dude.
Yeah, but you know, if you watch the videos, it just looks like madness. And I get it; it's fun in the moment because it's that. Here's the thing: it's the what do you call it? Like the mob
Mentality.
mentality. But what's the other term for like when people all do something at the same time?
Flash mob.
No, it's like there's a name for
That's a good answer, Jay.
a psychological term for it when like you get caught
know
up
what you're
in the
talking about.
swirl of people. Someone listening is probably
Bystander effect, right? Is that what you're talking about? Like,
no, that's when you don't do anything as being a bystander. I don't know. But it's like it's when people they start to join in and they don't even know why they are. A good example of this is at the Yankee game a few months back. Remember, Josh, we talked about how one fan started throwing like beer cans and stuff at an outfielder, then like 60 people joined in.
It was
It's
like maybe like 10.
Nah,
Like, not many
those
Yankee.
trash Yankee fans were throwing a lot
There's
of
only
cans.
like
Groupthink,
10
groupthink.
trash people.
Groupthink. So people start joining in, and it's like, okay, cool. And then the next day, it's just because they have the confidence of being in a group. If they were alone, they'd never do any of this. So it's like, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. It's not good for anybody. It makes young people look dumb, and I think that. Yeah,
The videos looked straight out of like a war zone when they got the flashbangs out and the smoke bombs. Like it just looked crazy with all the street lights. Crazy stuff.
so I don't think I'll be going to Long Branch anymore, honestly. Island Beach State Park does it for me.
all the way.
But shout out to the TikTok For You page. Just getting all these videos out there for all these kids and the invites just spreading all throughout Jersey. That's their best friend. It's our best friend.
Yeah, and with that, I have to say, there's another article I read that says Long Branch considers legal action against TikTok over advertising the party that got out of hand this past Saturday. So it sounds like TikTok, Long Branch is now trying to actually sue TikTok.
It's the FYP. Like it's not like one person at TikTok is pushing this.
Well, no. That's not what happened, though. Because listen, let me read you the article, and then because they were allowing ads for it on TikTok.
Oh, they advertised this?
Yes,
They paid for
I think
ads.
they paid for ads.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It says
Well, should they be going after the guy who paid for the ads?
I don't
That's
know.
probably what they're looking for.
it opens up an interesting can of worms because you go, okay, so let's take it really extreme. Let's say I pay for an ad. I don't want to say myself, but let's say some extremist pays for an ad on TikTok to promote an event where he's gonna murder people, right? And then it happens. Is TikTok to blame for should they be monitoring their ads a little bit better?
I definitely, dude. Yeah, if someone's like advertising something extreme like that, but like they could have seen this on TikTok thinking it was just like a normal party. Like that looks like a normal event.
Yeah, I don't know how you could because it looks like just the beach party.
So they can't actually sue them because it looks like just a beach party poster.
It says in the article, city officials are looking at every angle possible and cracking down on the pop-up beach parties that have caused chaos in Pier Village, including legal action against social media platforms. Long Branch Mayor John Pallone released a detailed statement Monday after 5,000 people showed up. Think about how many people, 5,000 people.
Dude, it's wild.
Ridiculous. On Saturday, prompting a strong police response that involved over a dozen arrests. So it sounds like they're looking into whatever they can do to make something happen here. I don't think anything will come with it.
Nah.
I don't think they're going to get away with suing TikTok, but I think Long Branch has to figure out a plan here because think about this, okay? From a larger perspective. If you own property in Long Branch and like specifically maybe like a condo in Pier Village, you know how they have like those luxury spots? The value of your home is about to plummet if this stuff keeps happening. Who wants to own a house in the middle of a street where like 5,000 people show up once a year,
Yeah.
right around Memorial Day, and cause havoc and crush a police car? Like that's not a good look.
Like I feel like Seaside used to get all like the hate and like for all this crazy stuff, but like I feel like Seaside hasn't been too crazy the past few years.
Seaside's chilled out. Yeah, that's a good point.
Like you hear more stories about like these things happening at Long Branch and like closer beaches up here.
Didn't the Nelk Boys do something down the shore in the last few years?
Nelk Boys were at Seaside at the Jersey Shore House last year or the year before, I think. Yeah,
And didn't they shut it down?
Yeah, they shut it down. Like people were going nuts, but they were like respectful with it. I think they just invited people to come. It got crazy. Cops kicked them out and they left. It wasn't like they didn't cause anything crazier than that. So,
dude, the mob is scary. When people start acting like, even like if you go to a concert where there's a mob of people, and like I guess the Travis Scott thing is a good example of like how even the pressure of like people pushing each other around. We've been to some shows where like you're in the middle of a crowd. It gets very scary when
crazy.
like 1,000 people around you are all acting ridiculous.
especially when it's dark out. Like when the sun goes down, it's like
sure.
you can't even see like where the exit is. Like it's just scary, dude.
So
Leave us a comment. What's your go-to beach in Jersey? Just curious.
I mean, for me, when I go to the beach now, I'm not looking at all, to be honest with you guys. I'm not looking for like some fancy restaurant. I'm looking to lay on the beach. I'm going to pack my own Sammy. I'm going to have coffee on the way in. I'm not going out anywhere. I like to just chill.
You know, I'll go to Donovan's Reef a few times, but yeah, I like the more private beaches.
What's the hot dog spot?
Windmill?
Windmill and Monmouth.
Oh, so good.
That's the spot,
Dude,
bro.
those dogs, dude, they hit so different,
We used
bro.
to go there in high school all the time.
The chili cheese ones, bro, it would mess you up. It was so good.
Crazy. All right. Well, yeah, we'll keep you guys updated on the situation in Long Branch, and if they actually are able to sue TikTok, Long Branch v. TikTok. It's going to be an interesting lawsuit.
If you're on Jersey TikTok, you've definitely seen some videos from it this past weekend. It's all over the place.
So, did you guys hear what's happening in Vineland, New Jersey?
Nope.
Apparently, a tank has been listed for sale, and it could be yours for only $80,000.
Dang, that's pretty good.
So can you legally drive a tank down the street if you bought it?
I don't know.
And insure it?
I don't think it's street legal. I don't
Well,
think
yeah,
you can-
because it's not tires,
Yeah.
right? Or is it tires? What's
It's
it look
treads,
like?
but it would be cool in like a Memorial Day parade, although it's not an American,
Yeah.
So here, let me read you the article. It says, built and used by the United Kingdom, this 5.9 liter Cummins inline six turbo diesel command style vehicle can be yours for $79,900. And yes, financing is available.
Sweet.
What do we got a tank for the podcast?
It's a great use of our money. So yeah, I think we should do it.
And we just put our logo on the side of it. Just went and crushed people's cars.
Get into every local town parade for Memorial Day.
It says, while regular cars come with USB ports for charging your phone and nice accessories, this one is, in quotes, armed solely with a 7.62 millimeter GPMG, which is a general purpose machine gun, for self-defense and suppression of enemy infantry. 8 smoke grenade dischargers, 2 banks of 4 each, are situated alongside the vehicle's sides and used for screening the vehicle. So yeah, I don't think it's street legal.
I mean, why are they selling this now? Like, where did this come from?
Well, the article did not say
is this just in someone's back? Has it been in violent for many years, and now they're just trying to get rid of it?
So look, here's the picture of it. It looks really awesome. Like, it looks clean.
Mm-hmm. We'd paint it green, get our logo on written in yellow. It would look so cool.
It says South Jersey Classics is selling it. So I don't think it's like a private sale type of thing. I guess that technically would be considered private sale. I always think of private sale as like an individual selling, right? So like a dealership selling it. So I don't know how they got their hands on it, but this thing looks awesome.
Like, if I was loaded and I had some land, I would totally buy it. If I could just blow like $79K like that, easily, I would totally buy that and just drive around my yard, make sick YouTube videos and TikToks with it. It'd be so much fun.
I mean, I think like military collecting is like a big thing. So it just must have been someone who's like a big collector and could afford to ship this thing across the ocean.
Jim, you're going to love this, dude. The article literally says, it says, earlier we mentioned cruising up the Black Horse Pike in this thing.
Oh, yeah.
That's your road, right?
Black Horse and White Horse Pikes.
Oh, White Horse you like. And it says, we're assuming...
They're like twin roads.
They said, we're assuming you can't actually drive this around. I mean, where would you stick the Easy Pass? We're guessing this isn't quite street legal. Very, very funny. Once again, the comedian's at 101.5. But the photos of this thing, man, I'm telling you. Sheesh.
Wait, it looks kind of mini. Wait, they only take up one parking spot? That's not bad.
I don't know.
No, that was just a funky angle. That's cool.
Scroll out. But yeah,
how can the people look this up? What they got to type in?
Yeah, just look up. Well, if you want to look up the actual listing on the website, you can look up the article. But the listing is 1989 CRV.
CVR.
Oh, I'm sorry, CVR FV103 Spartan MK1. I think I think MK1 is the actual type of tank that it is, but a Spartan MK1.
How many miles are on it?
It doesn't say, but it says it gets 320 miles. Per full tank.
That's not bad.
That's like my car.
It's not bad until you consider that it holds like 600 gallons of diesel.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Oof. Diesel expensive these days.
We'd have to limit ourselves to maybe 5 miles a weekend or something like that.
Guys, hold on. This dealership, South Jersey Classics, is selling tons of tanks.
Oh.
They have another one in green.
Everyone in Violent's going to be coming at us. They're like, oh, we sell tanks all the time. Like, we know these guys.
They're going to be like, you Yankees up in North Jersey don't sell tanks? Oh, military green. This thing is awesome.
I want the green one. I think the green one looks way more tough.
I want a tank. Well, just figure we throw that out there. We know a lot of our listeners, it's Jersey. You have road rage. And sometimes you need a solution. And here it is. You get a tank and... it's like that old game Rampage. Remember Rampage?
Yes, I do.
We just go knock the buildings down as a giant gorilla.
Yeah, dude. Oh, yeah. Kong versus... no, it was called Robot. No, Monster. What was the game called? Monster versus Alien? That's... Yeah, what was it? Monsters versus Aliens. Or something like that.
Was that a Rampage game?
It was on a PS2. Type in Monsters versus Aliens PS2. Let's see. Let's see what pops up.
This podcast is that's a
no. It's old.
That's a Disney movie, I think.
I don't remember.
All right. Well, if you want a tank, you can look it up.
Well, if you got $79K lying around and you could afford a tank, maybe invest in your local state podcast first. Put the money toward some good use, and then maybe buy a tank.
If someone gave us $79,000 for this, I think we could easily triple that. Just throwing that out there.
We would, we don't want to give away our ideas off the bat right now, but we do some damage. In a good way.
The main idea is keychains. You always go to a spot.
Like Deb?
Well, you always go to a spot, and they sell those license plate keychains, but the names are always... Who selects the names? And this generation of kids coming up, they all got weird names. Like these parents nowadays think their kids are so unique. So our idea to make a lot of money is we do unique... license plate chains.
And dog tags.
Does that mean that
license plate blue?
Does that mean my idea for mouse pads is out?
Mouse pads.
Mouse pads. I thought that was great. I've always liked mouse
Wait,
pads.
I don't think you've ever shared that with me. That's a really cool idea, Jim.
Yeah, mouse pads.
We should do it. Yo, I don't have a mouse pad. I need to buy one.
I don't think
Like,
anyone's used a mouse pad in years.
People use mouse pads all the time.
Really?
Yeah. How do you think people use their mice?
They're micing. All right, moving on. A New Jersey man has concluded his 7-year walk around the world this past weekend.
Just me?
Just you.
Guys, that's 7 years. Dude walked around the earth.
Let's give it up for him.
Jersey, baby. Congrats to this guy.
Yeah, if anyone knows Tom Turcik,
Where's he from?
Turcik? I'm gonna say his last name wrong. Tom Turcik. I'm assuming is how you say it. If anyone knows him and wants to get him on the pod, I would love to interview this guy. But yeah, in 7 years he walked around the entire globe.
Dude, that's just the coolest thing to hear. Like, I was reading part of the article. Like, I guess Josh is going to share it in a second. But this dude, like, think about the experiences you have while in 7 years walking around the earth, seeing so many different places, so many different cultures. I can't even imagine. I know he's writing a memoir where he's going to share a lot, but like, I would love to talk to this guy.
Yeah, it says it's about 1.5 miles walking from Philadelphia to Camden via the Ben Franklin Bridge. For Tom, that comparatively short stroll into New Jersey on Saturday afternoon will signify the final stretch of his 7-year walk around the world. It is a journey that took him from Haddon Township to 6 continents in approximately 25,000 miles, interrupted by 3 breaks and that temporarily brought him back to Camden County.
Wow.
He said, "I've had such a long walk home. After crossing the bridge, Tom will walk 8 more miles to the finish. He will pass his family's former home in Hampton Road before reaching an outdoor welcome home celebration with more than 500 people attending."
So cool.
That's
amazing. That's just like a really cool story. Like, he made it home safe after 7 years. Probably has so much to share. Probably saw so much.
Yeah.
Dude.
Saw the whole world.
Crazy. I know, like, it said in the article that like he had to come home because he got like an infection of some sort.
Ooh.
Then COVID kind of slowed things down for a little bit. No, COVID wouldn't allow him to enter Australia, I think it said. So he couldn't go to Australia, which kind of stinks. But the dude walked around the rest of the world, which is insane.
Yes.
Like, not many people could do that.
I just want to say again, Tom, if you're watching this video, if someone sends this to you, come join us on the podcast. We'd love to have you and hear your story and share it with all of our listeners. So,
what's the longest you've ever walked?
The longest I've ever walked in a day, you're saying?
Well, no, it could be like, maybe you went on a journey. I don't know.
We did that 14-mile hike at Glacier. That was like a lot of walking because you were going uphill.
Yeah, the vertical kills.
But I've never done like a long, like a marathon walk in a day.
No, me neither.
I've done long bike rides. Like we did 50 miles or 55 miles that one day. But
that was the longest like trip I've ever taken. Like, not in a car. It was a 55-mile bike ride. But yeah, I've never walked.
I think the most I ever did in a day was like 20 miles.
Yeah.
25 miles, something like that.
Was that just like kind of walking around like in circles, or like did you have to go to a destination?
I was in Boston for this work thing, and I decided I want to go to Harvard, and I didn't want to pay for an Uber, and it was a nice day, so I walked to Harvard and I walked back to the hotel.
But that's the best part about being out of your state and like you're just traveling somewhere and you want to walk. You get to see so much. That's why. And also, if you have a destination, it makes it easier than just being like, oh, I'm going to walk 25 miles today. No, like you have a destination in mind. You know where you have to get to, and there's so much to see around you. So that's what helps it. That's why I love traveling to like different cities and different areas around the world. Like when we went to Japan, dude, we walked so much around like all the different cities we visited because like you just don't know what like around the corner is going to greet you. It's crazy.
And then also, like we've mentioned on the podcast before, so my dad and Josh's dad worked together. They were postal workers. And when my dad retired, I remember at like his retirement party, they gave him a plaque, and I forget how many times like in his career he would have walked around the world, but I think it was like 6 times.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
So that'd be 6 times 25,000 miles.
So
wow,
a lot.
Or maybe it
150,000
was like
miles.
2 times around the world. I forget what it was, but it was like
yes, that's
he
a
at
lot.
least walked around the world once.
That's an interesting thing about being like a mailman that you don't take into account. There are health benefits to the job.
Yeah,
Like-
well, he worked there for 40 years.
Oh my goodness.
That's a long. I'm not like none of us are even close to 40.
Yeah,
Would he wear New Balances, Nikes? Like, what was his shoe of choice, or is
That's
it
a great
standard
question.
issue?
I think they were issued.
I wonder if this is really an ADD rabbit trail, but I wonder if the USPS has like a brand deal with like Nike for their shoes.
I'm sure.
They should do a whole campaign for that. That would be so cool.
Let's
Because like
see.
even the fit of a mailman is so cool.
No, this is they wear Brooks. They wear Brooks. Addiction Walker 2. That's the name of the shoe.
Those are dad shoes right there.
That's
dude.
the standard issue mailman. I mean, there are other ones, but those look like the pretty common ones. So, yeah. But
It takes a special human to be like, I'm going to walk around the world and commit to it.
Yeah.
So even when that Mike Posner walked across the
Yeah.
country, like that's a feat. That's crazy right there, walking around across the country. But like, think about the world.
And he got bit by like a rattlesnake at one point.
He almost died. Yeah, from that rattlesnake bite. But then he still came back and finished.
Yeah, which is even crazier.
The fact that this guy's walking around the world, like, it's hard to comprehend. I want to know how many people have ever done that, like walking around the entire world. It can't be that many. It's pretty cool. And he's from Jersey, so
I don't think many people have done that. I mean,
No.
How many people have walked around the world? Let's see if there's a list. According to David Nunst, the first verified man to do so, the answer is 21.
21. Yeah, I would guess something low like that.
So I guess it's 22 now.
Pretty cool.
Good for him. That's awesome. We'd love to have him on the pod, and we'll see if we hear anything more about this. Maybe he writes a book.
So cool.
NJ.com is reporting that New Jersey cops write 100,000 license plate frame tickets every year.
It's such a low key ticket. Like you wouldn't even think you're getting one, but like I look at a car. So many people have those frames, dude.
I want to get one.
I've always wanted one, but I never got one.
Just a little swag throw on your truck.
I see so many people with like the Jets and Giants frames, Yankees, Mets, and it's just like it's cool, but like at the same time, I'm like, am I really gonna go out of my way to buy that? Like, not really, but a lot of people do.
But you know what? You even get those from like your car dealership.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. What about the dealership?
I don't
frames?
think they're taking.
No, if it blocks it, it's
But
it's all
even
fair
a
game.
lot of these other ones don't block it.
So that's what my point is here, right? Like, is this a ticket that you get, like, let's say you get pulled over for running a stop sign.
Yeah.
And the cop's like, oh, I'm going to give you a break. Have this ticket instead.
Well,
Might be.
I'm not sure. Let me read you guys the article, and you could draw your own conclusions because it sounds like there's some suspicion around the ticket, and they're trying to get rid of it. So it says, New Jersey drivers who bolt a frame around their vehicle's license plate to profess their allegiance to a sports team, pets, or provide some free advertising for a car dealer could get a break from annoying traffic tickets if a bill proposed by two state lawmakers are passed. According to the state judiciary, 501,699 summonses were issued in 5 years between 2017 and 2021 for license plate violations. The most summonses were written in 2019 with 127,000.
Jeez. It's such a stupid ticket.
It says, if there is an indication of how annoying this infraction is, two legislators from the two different parties proposed bills in both houses of the state legislature to relax the current law. So it sounds like this is the one thing in America we can agree on. Republicans and Democrats are coming together
Beautiful.
to say, let's get rid of the frames.
Let's go.
So that's what they're saying as of now. There's a bit more information on it, but what do you guys think? Like,
I can't believe it's even like against the law to have. I feel like most frames don't even. Okay, I get it. If you have a frame that completely blocks your license plate from being read, that should be illegal. But like most of these frames are not blocking the license plate. You could easily read it.
that's what I don't fully understand is like, what is the objection? Like, what was the thought behind this law when it was written?
Like I agree with Jimmy. There's been times where I've gotten pulled over for speeding, and then the guy's having a good day. He's like, you know what? I'm going to let you off. I'll just write you a ticket for your brake light tints, for example, like a $5 ticket instead of giving me points on my license. And it's probably the same thing, cops giving people breaks and then being like, oh, I have to still write you a ticket. Let me do it for your license plate frame.
But on the flip side, it could also be an excuse to pull someone over.
Yeah, I think
100%, yeah.
that would be my guess. Is I think there's certain laws like this where like I don't know how. See, this is where I'm going to sound ignorant. I know we've gotten some DMs from some cops. Maybe they could explain it. Like I think there's certain things that like the thing hanging from your rearview mirror.
Yep, exactly.
Like that's a reason to pull somebody over, and then you pull them over, and then you find out other stuff is going on. So I don't know how that works, but that might be what it is. Or I think, Cho, your explanation might make sense too. Maybe it's like a lesser thing, or maybe it's the type of thing where like they tack it on there, as like an extra ticket. I don't know.
I've never I have mine on my license plate from my dealership, and it's not even that thick. Like that's probably why I haven't gotten stopped for it. But like it's there, but no cops ever like stopped me for. I've been pulled over so many times, dude. But like I never got in trouble for that. It was mostly for my tints.
The real question is, when are the blue license plates coming back? Because we talked about that.
Yeah, what happened to that? We talked about that in like February, dude. And like there's been no progress. It's such a disappointment to the state.
Are you kidding me? Everything with the state goes so slow.
I was going to say, you're expecting the state to move quick on anything.
Yeah, I know.
That was December we talked about that.
Nothing new.
Let me check the news right now and see
Such
if
a
there's
buzzkill, dude.
Yeah, there's nothing new.
I love going back to that TikTok. There's so many comments on that of people just arguing, talking about how ugly the blue ones are.
Well, that's funny because there's an article on 1015 2 weeks ago that says New Jersey's license plates are gross. It's time to make a new one. An
Thank
opinion
you.
piece by this guy, Joe Vatruba. Shout out to Joe. So, yeah, man, it's interesting times with these license plates. I think they're gonna get rid of it. I could just see it.
Yeah, I'm curious if this is going to get passed or not.
If it does get passed, I want to get a frame, but I want it to look like an actual picture frame.
Garden State podcast frames.
That's such a good idea.
Wait. What if we did frames and it said
'Cause, like-
something like I don't know, like something about this law not being a thing anymore,
Yes. Being like I used
free-
to be able to get pulled over for this.
or like free to frame, and on the bottom it says Garden State,
yes. Yeah, then put a little
That's
QR
so
code.
good.
the free frame state, something like that. I don't know. We could make it.
I want to
something.
make products like that for like our loyal listeners to buy. Like I don't want to do like just corny little stickers or something like that. Let's make license plate frames. Let's make I don't know. Let's make Garden State podcast car fresheners. Like stuff like
Yes.
that. Like
Dude, they're
don't
not
know.
even that expensive to make. We could totally make
that'd
this
be
a
so
thing.
funny.
I had
a
an
good
idea
idea.
for a bumper sticker I want to make. And I still think it's one of my better ideas I've had. It's just literally going to say the Garden State podcast saved my marriage.
I think it's gorgeous. That's beautiful, dude.
And it's going to have no context. It's just going to say it saved my marriage.
And people will just buy it up, dude.
I mean, I'd put that on my truck.
I'll put it on my truck. I'm not even married.
I'm married and there's nothing wrong with my marriage, but I just think it's very ominous and like, what did this podcast
Yeah,
do?
people are gonna be searching that podcast up right away. We also have to get that on a billboard on 95.
Yeah.
Like the Garden State Saved My Marriage, which is a photo of our faces, like shaking our hands or something. Looking like two lawyers.
Dude, that's hilarious.
We should, bro. Guys,
Well,
this summer, guys, we have to do
when
that.
our angel investor comes through with that $79,000, maybe we'll consider a billboard.
$5,000 from that is going toward a billboard on 95 for a good month.
Yep.
Just so everyone can see our faces.
Well, our last story of the evening is that Wheel of Fortune is coming to New Jersey.
Dan, 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 dan. That's the song, right? Or am I thinking the other? Yeah, that's it. Dan, 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 dan,
I gotta look it up.
I don't know about that.
The Wheel of Fortune theme song right now.
I think you're thinking of Price is Right.
No, I don't watch that show.
I love Price is Right. Oh, that's an ad. Story
That
of
was
my life.
loud. Is this the right song? Oh,
What is going on?
Josh. This is the 1952 version, bro. Go to Pat Sajak, Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, there you go. 2000.
Okay, Pat's.
Shoot. This is not it.
never
Fast
heard of
forward,
this.
fast forward. I don't know.
That's,
What's this, guys? What's the one? Dun, 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 dun.
You're thinking of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
No, that's dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun. What's dun, 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 dun. I swear I used to see Pat Sajak and Vanna White walk out to that, but maybe I don't know. I'm going crazy.
Well, I'm glad we just spent 2 minutes trying to figure it out.
But yeah, Wheel of Fortune.
But it says Wheel of Fortune is coming to New Jersey, but not the actual TV show. Bummer. Misleading headline. It's a traveling live version of the game that is going on a North America tour. It stops in New Jersey at Count Basie Center in Red Bank on October 5th. It's not televised yet. The game is the same, and the prizes and money you can win are very much for real. It's not often you can buy tickets to a show and come away with a profit. So I think we're going to be showing up, guys.
Listen, that is such a fun thing to
we're
do.
going.
Grab a group of your friends. If you guys need something to do, like on a weekend, go play Wheel of Fortune. You could win up to $10,000, maybe a trip somewhere. And like, come on, every time you watch the show on TV, you've always thought, like, I wish I could play this game. I wish I could be on TV. Now's your chance.
Guys, can we agree right now that we're going to go to Red Bank for this?
What day is that? October 5th?
October 5th.
What is that? Is that a Friday? Jimmy?
Jimmy should know.
Jimmy, have your calendar out.
October 25th, October 5th, 2022. I have no idea.
Guys, Jimmy?
Wednesday.
We're doing it. It's a Wednesday. We're
Why
going.
is it on Wednesday? Oh, it's a tour, so they're probably coming through. I think they said tour tickets are $45 or around that world. I wonder
Boys.
how much it is to play, though.
Boys, I'd love to spin the wheel.
I would love to spin the wheel with you guys.
I'd like to buy a vowel.
RSTLNE.
Oh, man. Hey, look. There's going to be some serious Wheel of Fortune heads there that know what they're doing. Like the people that have been watching for decades.
I've been watching for decades with grandma, popping in and out.
We got to grow mustaches if we do it on the show.
Why?
I just think it's appropriate that we have mustaches.
Okay. But seriously, do you think it'll be hard to like play, or do you think there'll be a massive crowd, or you think we're talking
I have
hardcore
no
fans
idea.
only?
Dude, I've never heard of this type of thing. And how big is Count Basie Center, Jimmy?
The Count Basie Center. Count
Hold
Basie.
on.
I'm so excited for this.
1,543 seats.
Oh, baby. It's going to be a sold out house.
This place looks legit.
What is it even going to look like? They can have the massive wheel on stage and they just call people out to like, oh, Josh, how funny would that be? The photos.
I don't know how they're going to do it, but we're going.
Do you think they have like a Vanna White lookalike on the tour and like Pat Sajak lookalike? They have to.
Well, I don't know. It might actually be them. It
No.
says it's not televised, but
You think they're actually traveling?
they're doing a North America tour.
But don't you? You're right.
So who's going to host it?
Pat Sajak.
And Vanna White.
They're great.
They are great. They just have that TV magic thing.
Vanna
going.
White's looked the same the past 20 years. It's amazing. She doesn't age.
Yeah, it is pretty impressive. And I don't know why this article has a big cake, a Wheel of
That's
Fortune
not a
cake.
cake.
It looks like a cake to me,
No,
man.
that's the wheel with like flowers around it. It's not a cake.
All right. I think we've been recording this podcast too long. But yeah, I think I'll be going. I'll get us some tickets and we'll show up.
If anyone else is interested in likes Wheel of Fortune, let us know if you're going. Because this is adding to the giant list of things we need to do. I'm just thinking right now, like we already have, we're going to the Cowtown Rodeo this summer.
Yep.
Which it started already, right, Jimmy? Or it's this
Yep.
weekend that's
Yeah.
starting.
Nice.
I think it started.
Yeah, we got to go to that. And
Got to
then
go to Cowtown.
We're going to go to Cowtown. We're going to go to the Wallpack Inn. Where are some other things we said we were going to do?
We're going to record the podcast at Island Beach State Park.
Yes, we are. Yep.
We're going to definitely... there was some guy that reached out to us from Wildwood, New Jersey that has a charter boat. We're going to go fishing in Wildwood, I think.
We're going to go play golf with the Turnpike Tour.
We're going to play golf with the term. If they ever listen to our podcast and hit
No,
us
he
up.
DM'd me. We're already talking.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, dude.
Awesome. So we're
Yeah.
going to do that. And maybe we'll go visit our South Jersey folks down in Cherry Hill.
Didn't we say we were going on some boat too?
Yeah, we're going to do a lot of things.
The tiki boat?
Yeah.
Same guy.
Oh.
He has a tiki boat and a charter boat. I'm trying to fish, though, if we're going
Yeah,
out.
that dude is awesome.
So it's
Make
going to
a
be
whole like, promo video on there.
it's going to be an eventful summer for the boys. Would you guys agree with that?
I think it's looking up. Summer's looking up for sure.
Summer's looking up.
I love when people say that about things. It's looking up.
It's just hopeful, man.
Why not be hopeful? You got to live hopeful. You got to be looking up all the time, and because you're alive.
Well, that's a great way to end this podcast, I feel like. You just gave us a really inspirational quote.
When are we going to extend this podcast to like a 4-hour show, you think?
Well, if New Jersey had more news, we could go longer than even an hour, but we always try to find every interesting story we can, and some weeks it's just bone dry.
There's some weeks, guys, like you just read through the news and it's just like killing death after one another, and it's just like boring.
It kind of makes you think, like, what if we did this podcast in another state? Like, I don't know, somewhere.
Florida,
man.
No. I'm thinking of like a boring state, like Iowa or like Kansas or something. It's like, oh, tumbleweed causes massive.
I don't know, Josh. Look up like
Iowa local news. I guarantee
What's the headline? What's the top story?
guarantee you they got some amazing stuff going on. Hold on.
All you got to do is type in Florida man today and just see what article pops up.
So it says Fort Dodge high-speed chase ends with vehicle crashing into house. So yeah, it's all the same stuff.
They crash into houses too. Cool.
It's the same thing, everything.
Type in Florida man. Let's see what Florida man did today.
Florida man news. Oh my, naked Florida man busted after allegedly killing 3, including infant.
Oh, come on. That was a dark story. That
How
went from funny to
but
dark.
this is the thing. This is all I want to say about it. Florida, they have such incredibly crazy headlines that it'd be so easy to make a podcast like this for Florida.
Do you think we should start?
Well, that's part of the plan. We'll talk about that.
I love doing Florida man with my birthday. Florida man,
Look,
August 24th.
Look, let me read you the top 3. Can I read you a few more of these headlines?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no, that's the same guy. Same guy. It's all the naked.
Florida man drunk and naked allegedly set house on fire in failed cookie baking attempt. That's on my birthday. Dude, like why are they always naked? Why are the guys always naked in Florida?
don't
Type in
know.
your birthday, Florida man, then we'll close this
Then
out.
we'll close this out. March 11.
Florida man. I want to hear yours, Jimmy.
My Florida man is. I can't read that.
Yeah, read a clean one.
It's that's not my birthday though. Hold on, I gotta find one for my birthday.
I got one for me. Florida man hits sleeping roommate on head with a skillet for being a, quote, confidential informant.
No. See, guys, we need to start the Florida podcast. I have to get my cousins who live in Florida to start it. I'll produce it.
All of these for my birthday are crazy. I'll read this one. Florida man calls 911 to ask if deputies can test if his meth is real.
No, how's that real?
Unbelievable.
Florida men, man.
So with that, that's all I had for this week, guys. Was there anything you wanted to say before we wrap this thing up, like a Christmas present?
Ooh, a little Christmas present? No, but we are working on a bunch of little surprises for you guys. So if you're not following us already, make sure to follow us on social media. We are on social media. We are on Instagram, TikTok, Discord. What else are we on? We started a Facebook, but we haven't really followed up with that one yet.
Yeah, we got to get on that.
It's all in our link tree. Click the link in the bio. Go to our link tree. Follow us on all our socials. Instagram, we post cute little photos of ourselves so you can see what we look like. But yeah, shoot us a DM too.
It's good times.
We're here. We're here to talk to you guys, keep the conversation going. We try to respond back to as many messages as possible, so hit us up.
And the last thing we want to say before we close out is Jimmy Parks has an announcement for us, and then we're going to let you guys go.
All New Jersey state parks are going to be free this summer.
Whoa.
That's big.
Why?
It's fee holiday. I think there's a few other things that are going to be free.
Fee holiday?
Yeah, fee holiday.
For the whole summer.
For the whole summer.
Does this ever happen?
It's never happened in my knowledge. I think they're also doing it with like driver's license renewals and a few other things too.
So,
Sweet.
That's
Free
awesome.
state parks is going to be one of them.
Let's go.
Great. Well, we're going to be enjoying free trips to the park. High Point.
With Jimmy Parks.
Yeah, the Jimmy Parks tour.
That's going to be something we do this summer as well.
You should start an Instagram called the Jimmy Parks Tour. Like, you just bring us to all your spots.
That's a good idea. I'm going to do it.
And if you're not following Jimmy, follow him on Instagram. It's at JTDSCAPE. JTDscape. Go follow him. Show him some love. He keeps the show up and running. So thank you, Jimmy.
Show?
His birthday's next weekend. Wait, we're posting this and your birthday is Saturday?
My birthday's Monday.
Okay, cool. So yeah.
On
Jimmy's
Memorial
birthday.
Day.
Yeah, Memorial Day is Jimmy's birthday. So everyone go wish Jimmy Parks a happy early birthday. He will be so happy to see all your messages and love. But yeah, that's all I got this week, boys.
Likewise. Hey guys, it's been a good night, and I always cherish these podcast recordings.
Episode 18. We've come a long way.
Lucky 18. With that, have a good night. Have a happy Memorial Day weekend. We hope you spend time with families, with your family, not families, with your family. And we want to give a special shout out to all the family members of those that have maybe lost a loved one in the service. We salute you all. We support you.
Thank you.
And thank you even to the families of those that have served for your service. So
Thank you so much.
anything you want to say, Jimbo?
Just see you later.
He's waiting for it.
See you later.
Have a good one, guys. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.
You're watching the Garden State. The Dirty Jers.